Welcome to my home from home this cruise. This is my outsider ocean view cabin on deck number 6 of Balmoral, one of the cruise ships from Olsen Cruise Lines. Today in this video, I am going to take you on a full detailed tour of this cabin to hopefully help you to make the decision as to whether or not this room could work for you on a future cruise. If you do enjoy this video, and if you find it useful, then it would be great if you would think about supporting my channel by clicking both the thumbs up and the subscribe buttons. But anyway, join me over there and let me walk you around my cabin. The cabin that I'm showing you around today is number 6093, which you'll find in a midship location on board Balmoral. This cabin is particularly well located for some of the facilities on board. For example, if you're assigned to the Balmoral restaurant for your main dining, then you'll find that venue just around the corner. You'll also find this cabin just one deck below the promenade deck, meaning that you're pretty close to the action and lots of the onboard activities when you stay in here. On either side of the bed, you'll find a lamp on top of a bedside unit. That lamp is controlled using the on-off switch on the cord, and that unit features a drawer and a cupboard that both click shut using the button mechanism on the front. So don't worry, if you are experiencing rough seas, they're not going to open unexpectedly. You've then got a small armchair and a small glass table that sit directly in front of this large picture window. It's really important to note, if you are looking at that window and thinking, wow, I'd love to book that, not every ocean view cabin on Balmoral has this size of window, so just bear that in mind when you look to make your booking. Over here, you've got your desk with a large mirror directly in front, and over here, you've got some more storage. You've got a number of shelves in here, and this cupboard, again, similar to the bedside unit, clicks shut using a button mechanism, so that's not going to open through the night. Down here, you've then got a Bible and your hairdryer in the top drawer, and directly underneath, you've got your refrigerator or your mini fridge. This was empty during my cruise, and it was perfect for storing things like bottled water or cans of juice that I could have ready to enjoy at any point. On top of the desk, you're going to find a box of tissues and your cabin attendant's details. Over here, you've got your phone that you can use to call any of the other cabins or facilities on board free of charge, and you've also got your channel list for the television. It is worth mentioning that you can also call home using your cabin phone, although that is particularly expensive, so I would never recommend using that option. Behind the phone, you've got a number of power outlets, including a USB outlet, which I was particularly surprised to see. Another thing that I was surprised to see that I loved was this here. This control allows you to turn on or off the announcements coming into your cabin, and there's also a light on there to notify you if the weather's rough outside, although I do think personally I'd probably feel it before I would check if that light was illuminated. You've then got a chair with a back, which I really enjoy if I'm spending some time working in my cabin. And as we now move to the other side of the room, let's first talk about the TV. This TV wouldn't have been here from the launch of the ship, so it's really nice to see some little upgrades over time in this cabin. And as we now head over, you've got a picture on your left, and then you've got a number of hooks permanently attached to the wall. These are really, really useful for storing things like your jackets, your scarves, your hats, or any other things that you might want to hang. Over here, you've then got your air conditioning. All you have to do to slide that over is use the little slider directly underneath, and that will either make the room cooler or warmer. If you set the device to the middle, it'll usually regulate a decent temperature and it'll eventually turn off. Over here on the left-hand side, you've got your main storage in the cabin. Let me show you inside each of these wardrobes now. I do have to say that I had only just arrived in the cabin at the point of recording this video, so don't worry, you're seeing things like my suitcase there, but once you fully unpack, there's lots of room for your suitcases directly underneath the bed, so don't worry about having to sacrifice hanging space to avoid looking at your suitcase. In this wardrobe, you've got your life jackets at the top, you've then got some more shelves, and you've also got your tea and coffee making facilities. As a British cruiser, I love being able to relax in the cabin and make a cup of coffee in the morning before I head out around the ship. In here, you'll find both decaf and also caffeinated instant coffee. You'll then also find a decent selection of Twinings tea bags. If you're looking for different flavours or types of tea, all you have to do is go to the Thistle restaurant or the Onboard buffet, one deck up, and you can bring whatever you need back down with you. You've also then got a variety of sugars, sweeteners, and also some milk here. So whatever you need, that facility should be absolutely fine. Down below, you've got some more open shelves. And then on this side, you've got, first of all, some hanging space with your laundry list if you do need to get any washing done on board. You've then got your pool towels. Just make sure you return them to the room at the end of your cruise. You've then got your safe, which is totally free of charge to use. And then down at the bottom, you've got some drawers, which do click shut. So again, don't worry about the ship going through rougher seas. All of those drawers will remain closed throughout your cruise. That's the storage. Let's now look at the very back of the door. This is where you'll find your evacuation plan. You'll also find all of the information that you need about your assembly station, your muster station. So just make sure you check that out as soon as you get on board before the ship then sets sail. Let's now head in to look at the bathroom, which is one of the parts of this cabin that I was really quite happy with, and this felt much newer than what I was expecting, even after seeing the rest of the cabin. You've got a nice grey tile in here. Yes, I do always have to acknowledge myself in the mirror in a bathroom. On the left-hand side, you've got a pretty old hairdryer, to be honest, but I guess you don't really need that if you're using the one out in the cabin. All of the toiletries on board are from Cole & Lewis as a brand. You've got your sink, your toilet on the left, and then you've got some open storage down underneath. I personally do prefer when that storage is closed off, but again, considering the age of ship, I really don't think this is an issue at all. In the main shower cubicle, you've got the shower itself, which has got a detachable shower head. You've got Cole & Lewis toiletries, you've got a soap tray, and you've also got a grab rail, so if the ship is moving, don't worry, you can use that to hold on. Now, there is a shower curtain in here, but again, remember the age of ship on that front. And you've also then got a washing line, so if you do need to do any washing while you're on board, you've got somewhere to dry your clothes. On the back of the door, you've got two hooks, so you've got somewhere to put maybe your bathrobes or your wet jacket, for example. And that's it. That's a quick look around my superior ocean view cabin here on Olsen Cruise Lines Balmoral. Personally, I was impressed with this cabin. I found it a very comfortable place to call home during my cruise. But I'd love to hear from you. What do you think of this cabin? Is it what you expected, or would you have expected anything else? And would you be happy cruising in this grade of cabin? If you have enjoyed this video today, then it would mean the world to me if you'd support my channel by clicking both the thumbs up and the subscribe buttons. I use my YouTube channel to share my cruise experiences with you. I've got so much more to show you, so stay tuned, and there's lots more to come from Olsen Cruise Lines and so many others out there. Thank you so much for watching, happy cruising, and have a great day.